Oh, hello. Yes. Oh, wicked. How is everyone? Ah, rock and roll. Good morning slash afternoon. Okay, we've just clicked over 12 o'clock, so it's good afternoon. Oh, brilliant. Fantastic. Yes, awesome. So, yeah, it's nice to see all y'all. I've been working on a few little outside things to improve the game, and to improve the like images and stuff, because I thought there's a few things that kind of I found a bit depressing. That like when we're playing, we've got a like essentially just a boring screen here, like in the background, and so I've tweaked a few things. You'll probably also notice that these houses, you're probably thinking, those houses look really good quality. Did you draw them yourself? No, I didn't. But one thing that I have done, I've kind of made a decision that these I don't want to obviously just use sprites from like I don't want to just copy other people's sprites, because I think there might be some legal connotations following that. So instead, I have I sort of seen this and thought, oh, I can probably make my own version of it, which isn't probably. Oh, hey man, hey. But yeah, I've sort of seen this and I thought, like, I'm going to draw. I've sort of done a sort of what is probably not as good a version of it, but it looks a bit nicer, like, in my head, and I'll show you what I've done. I mean, it looks sort of nicer. It's more fitting for the theme, for the general artwork of the whole thing, because the buildings that we had before looked. Let's have a look. Yeah, they look like this, and I thought, that looks a bit rubbish. So I've made something which looks better than this, but not as good as these. Just purely because even though technically these are, I'm legally allowed to use all these images, I would rather use something that I've kind of drawn myself. Oh, KO2 fan as well. Oh, wicked. How are you doing? You alright? Oh, cool. Right. So I'll show you what I've been working on. I didn't actually get all the way. I've got, let's see, where are we? So, yeah, this is basically, so the way which I did that was, I sort of drew a basic outline over the top, and then sort of changed it a little bit. So, you know, I'm not going to say it looks any better, but I think it looks slightly more in character with the art style that I'm going for. Yeah. Oh yeah, thanks, man. Yeah, I'm doing really well. I think, like, I want to stream more. Like, at the moment I'm doing Thursdays and Saturdays, but like there are days where I'm just thinking I might just do a spontaneous stream at some point. But like I'll see sort of how I feel like on the day. Anyway, so I'm going to I've got this one here. This is the image that we're going to use for the houses, and the reason I've got it in grey at the moment is because as long as it is specifically in either black, white or grey, it means we can manipulate the colours, and it shouldn't look weird if we change it to blue or red. And I want the town heart. Let's see, where are we? I want the town heart to be green. I want to just change all the colours to, to their respective ones, and that shouldn't be too difficult. So I'm going to get started with doing that straight away. Oh yeah, another thing which I'll show you in a little bit is there was this quite cool background that I stole, and I was like, well, I'm not going to steal that, so I made another background which again doesn't look as good as the one that I stole, but it looks better than just a plain black backdrop. So if we go like this, save this as a PNG, and I'm always going to put 3 zeros whenever I'm saving it as a PNG. I know I'm going to be saving quite a lot of rubbish here, but that's okay. I just want to make sure I've got the key one. This is the one that I'm after. Right, let me just find a home for it. So, buildings generic 05, that's fine. And 64, let's just set all this over. 64, point filter, and none. Because yeah, whenever you're doing anything that's pixel related, it looks a lot better if you have compression none and you have it on point filter. Right, so let's actually just upgrade all these buildings. So another thing that we're going to do as well is this little sword symbol is actually part of the image, and we just want to have a separate sprite that is the actual symbol. And I think I've got these symbols ready, so that shouldn't be too hard to do. So let's go. So the attack one, we're actually just going to change them all to this, and I'm going to add another image here, which is going to be this one. It's a little small, doesn't it? But that's that should be okay. Yeah, for the time being, I'm just going to make it just a little bit bigger. But what we're going to do, this is where we're going to actually change the colour of this sprite to red. Yeah, actually, it's really red. Let's stick with that for the time being. Oh, thank you. Oh, yes, sorry, yes. In the game, I was thinking. Oh no, I was worried that there was like a helicopter outside looking at the house, and I was thinking, what's going on? But yes, as in, yeah, no, cheers, man. It's not as good as the one that I stole it from, but like, yeah, but I thought like it's more. It looks slightly more in theme with the game, I think. Yeah, so this will be. I'll just put this as symbol sprite. And we're just going to I'm just going to, I wonder if I can just copy that and do the same for all the other ones. So we've got the defense building. Yeah, that kind of looks okay. Let's change the defense building to... there it is, right, yeah, I thought I'd lost it for a sec there. And we'll change this, we'll make this blue. Extreme blue, yeah, that's okay, that's good. And then change this to, I really should have just dragged it over. So we want to change that to the defensive one. Probably lower that down a little bit. Yeah, looks good. Although now that I've lowered that one down, my OCD is going to have to tell this one is going to be to lower this one down as well. And also, I want to just, not that this matters too much, but I want, I just want that to be, oh actually no, forget that. I'll leave that there for the time being. Right, so that's looking good. That obviously needs to be in front of that, so the order in layer is there, 0, so this one can be, let's just do it 1 for the time being. And that one needs to be 1. So even though it's showing in front there, if they're both on the same order layer, it's kind of random whether. Yeah. Oh yeah. Actually, no. You're probably right. You know what? I'm gonna take that, because in my head I'm thinking the red is a bit too red as well. So I might just tone it down just a little bit. So I've got this in front. Let's see what we can actually. Yeah, so I'll tone this one down. That seems a bit. I think if we just move these up to say 20 and 20, I think that's kind of looks all right. And then I'll do something similar for the blue defense one as well. Let's go. Oh no, oh yeah, because we haven't actually clicked into it. I think that looks a bit better, doesn't it? Yeah, I quite like that. At the moment, it's got no reference to this symbol at all, but that doesn't matter too much. Right, now let's do the same again with the thing. And I want to make this one green. Again, probably too green. It's okay, let's change that symbol to the heart. Yeah. Okay. Right, now one thing, I can't remember if I've actually got them to change the colour, but let's see what that looks like. Right. It's here where I get attacked with an error message. Okay, alright, that was a bit not quite as painful as I thought it was going to be. So what I've also done as well, now I dabbled with the concept of putting a background in. So yeah, like I say, it doesn't look 100% perfect, but I think that's still passable for the time being. Right, we're going to create a background. Now, where did I did actually put it somewhere. Oh yeah, so originally I had let's see, where is it? 2D objects sprite, square. So let's put that in the middle. I did originally have this as a background, which does look quite nice. But again, even though technically these are, I can like use these sprites, I don't want to steal from someone else. So I've made something which doesn't look quite as good, but like it's more in theme. Which I'm going to see. Just check that it sort of lines up. Yeah, that's fine. Oh, of course, yeah. The reason that's flashing is because I need to move the order in layer of the background back, so that's fine. I think you can use minus here, so this is always going to be at the back. So I'll call this background, and then I'll see background. Yeah, I'll just call it background. Okay. So where did I put it? Now that is actually a good question. Okay. Good. I did actually label it properly. Right, and I've actually, that one is all one image, but I've done a water. So this is my own sort of water. So there's going to be water, and then I'm going to put the island on top of it. So let's save that. Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, so we'll put 000. So I'll show you what I've done actually. So I actually, I sort of dabbled. So I was thinking I want it to look wavy. So I made some wavy lines. And then I filled it in where it kind of goes from dark downwards. Then I got rid of the black lines so it's easier. And I've essentially, I kind of like the idea, and I don't know if I'm going to do it this episode, but I like the idea of the background sort of being just gently waving in the background. And I was trying to work out which water actually looks the best. I quite like this. That looks quite good, but I think this is the one which I'm actually probably going to keep. I did a little bit of experimenting. I think I'm going to stick with this one, but I'm not sure. Because I worked out a really good sort of technique to sort of fading the colours in, and I think that looks quite nice. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Are you thinking the this one furthest on the right? This one over here. Yeah. So we'll stick with that. But as I say, I did a few different variations, and I thought I'll stick with this one. So that's good. We got that, and I'm going to use these four. I'll use these four, but maybe when it's in the game, we'll use something else, or I could create a whole new different water sprite. But I like this. So let's go put it in. I'm going to keep it in the background. Oh no, haven't actually made a background things yet, so I'm going to do that now very quickly. So we're creating a folder for backgrounds. Oh yeah, I genuinely, because of my coding instinct, I always put a capital G as though it's two separate words, as though background. It's like, no, background, it's all one word. So I'm going to just right, let's just change that, because background is just one word in and of itself. So let's go. Drag all this into background, and then yeah. Now here's where kind of like you'll be like, why so I've made this, and I've got the island bit that goes on top, which is, I think it's this one. Now, like I say, it doesn't actually look quite as good, but I was thinking it kind of goes slightly more within the theme. So we're going to... Yeah, I don't have loads of variations. I've just got one island, so we'll stick with that one. And we'll save it as a PNG. Right, let's go drag this bad boy in. So, background, have this as background water. And we probably need to change all of these. Yeah, oh really? I think it's because psychologically, because back and ground are two separate words, you're like, you always, yeah, you just kind of like, you're like, well, the ground, it has to be a, yeah, it's one of those sort of psychological things. Like, kind of, I think if you look at all of my code, like from previous games where I've used backgrounds, I've just switched between the two, whether it's going to be a capital G or a lowercase g. As much as I try to have consistency, I don't always succeed. Oh yeah, so I kind of made this weird decision that 50 pixels per unit is just about good enough to fit over the screen. Although I might change that. Let's just keep it at 50 and then we'll change it if we need to. So these ones here, we can change this to 50, change this to point, and change this one to no compression, and apply. Yeah. Right. So background water, let's go use number 1. That's alright. Now, I'm actually just going to press Control D and duplicate this, and we just have background island. So that's fine there. So that's -5. We'll have this as -4. Now I've just got to remember where I put it. There it is. Right. And I might need to move it around a little bit. Yeah, because I kind of want... I haven't really worked out exactly why, but I kind of want you to see that the left of the island is water. More of a sort of preference thing. Let's go... Let's give that a try. Now let's actually press play, see what it looks like. See how it goes. Oh yeah. Oh, so I mean, this is going to sound like a really sort of a sort of like a rather amateur question, but when you're like coding in German, when you have like, for example, like a for loop or a while loop, are all the words still in English? Do you still write while, or would you write the German word for while and for? Right, that looks okay. Yeah, I'll live with that. So let's have a look. Oh yes, right, actually, before we do much, one thing which I really do want to do, and I'm kind of looking forward to doing, because yeah, like I say, we've been going this long and we haven't actually done any actual coding yet, and like, coding's the best bit. One thing that I kind of want to do, I want to, when you actually start up, I want everything to just happen a bit quicker, and I also want, when you play a card, for this whole section to just go faster. So yeah, and eventually I want to have more than just 2 different card types. But our main goal for today is to actually introduce. Same code for all. Okay, no, fair enough. But yeah, my main goal for today is I want to actually introduce actual combat. So it's more, and the reason I'm actually going this far is, and it's also, I've got to work out if I want to make it as soon as he arrives there, he then attacks straight away, or if there is a turn to get ready. Because I quite like the idea that he arrives, he slams, then he attacks at the same time. And that would work quite well for other things, other ideas that I've got later. So I think that will be our plan. But before we do any of that, like I say, I want the game to start up quicker. And when you're playing a card, I don't want to have to wait this long each time. So hold on. Yeah. Cool. Right. And yeah, the idea is when he arrives, he attacks. All your defenders like block as much as they can, and then any remaining damage goes to damage the town heart. Okay, right, cool. So I got that clear. Right, now we're working on the everything to go quicker. So let's have a look at the intro, see what takes too long, because I could have multiple things happening at once. At the moment, it's literally. It's Zalreinheit. Yeah. Yeah. That's quite a lot to type in every time as well. Yeah. Oh damn! I wasn't paying attention to the intro. Sorry. Okay. Here we go. So let's have a look. Yeah, a lot of these things can happen simultaneously as well. And that needs to occur a lot quicker. So if we go have a look at, so I've got the main game master, which is the thing that summons everything. This is where we've got our summoning routine. Now this can actually be a little bit easier. It probably isn't actually too difficult. Let's see. So what are we doing? We're creating. Where's the bit where we create the mana? Summon 5 mana coins, that's fine. So, yeah, like I say, it might look a little bit ugly, but I think summoning the mana coins, we can actually just physically make that faster. Which I think would just, yeah, so let's go to the definition. Oh yeah, actually, before we actually do much more, kind of want to get rid of some of these codes because it can get just confusing when you've got too many up here on the tab. Right, let's get rid of those. So what's happening here? We summon the coins. Oh yeah, actually, I quite like this. So what I'm going to do here is, instead of, like, at the moment we're waiting for a whole coin to spin round and arrive at the point, so I'm basically doing the thing that summons the coin, and then it's summoning, which just takes lists are female. Not sure what that means, but yeah, so I'm going to summon the I want to make it so that maybe there's just, say, a tenth of a second or something in between each time it summons, and it just summons them all in a row. So we'll work on that, see what that looks like. So first of all, we're going to make our float, our time variable, equals 0, and still that seems okay. Time equals 0. And I always like to try and fit everything in one line, because it's something that I'm just going to... So while time is less than, let's say 0.1f, time... Cool. Oh, cool. All right. So one thing, sorry, this is it's probably useful to mention this. Oh yeah, that one can be. Oh yeah, that's fine. This is still easily fixed. Yeah. Okay, I quite like that. So hopefully they'll just kind of summon, like, kind of go do-do-do-do. Oh, oh, okay. Oh, I see. Yeah, it's one of those things that I sort of take for granted quite a bit. Oh, hold on. Oh, yeah. Right. But yeah, it's like there's less there's no like female or male words in the English language. Right. Anyway, here we go. So that should be okay. So I mean, we're just we're speeding up each bit one by one at a time. So let's first of all let's just see if that looks okay without it looking too too glitchy or anything. We can summon all of these in one go as well. I wasn't actually paying attention. I'm going to assume it's really good. So before I actually go back and look at that, I want to summon all these buildings in one go, so it just goes boink. And this, when it summons, can be a bit faster as well. It's more because for us to actually work on the attack, I'm going to have to cycle round to the attack a few times, and I just want all of these things to just happen just a little bit faster. Yeah, that's okay. So let's go make all the buildings a bit faster. So this is our big thing where it's summoning all the buildings. Yep, that's good. I think we don't actually need to do it exactly this way, but I quite like this. So that should summon all of them, and then they all arrive at the same time. Oh, right. Like, I think because there's some words that you're like, oh yeah, like that you could probably guess whether they're male or female, but then you're thinking list. I don't know. I don't know if like whenever there's like a new word that's introduced as well, if they've made a decision. So is that right? It's almost every is it every noun in the German like dictionary is either male or female. Oh yeah, that yeah. Right. So let's just see if that works. So I'm keeping an eye, just checking the building summon. Did I save it? I can't remember. Let's find out. So yeah, that's summoned. Okay, yeah, all right. I quite like that. That's good. That can definitely occur quicker. So because it's also like as much as it looks quite nice when it. Oh right, okay. Oh, so there's a whole third category of female, male, and non-gendered words. Okay. So let's have a look. Let's have a look at this code. Now this might be this. Is it 6125? I think that's half the speed again. Let's have a look. That's me. I really shouldn't be. I should be stopping the program before I go back to code. I should be stopping the game before I go back to code. So that's good. That happens faster. Okay, that's good. So we just need to sort out this deck thing so it just moves up a bit faster, and then I think we're kind of away to go. We're ready to go. Right. Probably should have actually... Yeah, because like most people when they're playing, as much as you like to see a sort of elaborate summoning beginning thing, most people are going to want to just play the game. So I thought, like, yeah, we've got to speed that up. I can't remember where the script is, so I'm going to do the classic where I wait for it to spawn. That's it. That's fine, and then we can just access it from here. Let's edit there. And before I forget, let's stop that. Okay. Oh, I know what I've done. I did this earlier. This doesn't actually have its own summon routine. Instantiate. Yeah, I have a feeling that where I've... Oh no, it's not this one at all. It's over here. I have a feeling that, yeah, I've just done this. Okay, so... what I've done, something a little bit foolish. This should actually be in its own separate code within the deck script. So I'm going to create a routine in the deck script, because at the moment I've just got this master script telling the deck to actually giving the exact instructions as to what to do. Whereas I'd rather have the deck script have a summon function that just basically does all this. We can pretty much copy and paste most of this. And it will give us more options for later as well. So instantiate that. Yeah. Right. So it's not exactly this. Oh, we actually... Oh, okay, yeah, that's fine. Sorry, when it says set up hand, I was worried that that's actually the thing that makes it draw it, but that's not. So, anyway, so we're going to do one of my favourite pastimes of making a co-routine. Summon routine. Go. So one thing that's interesting, obviously what I'm you can see where I've got like this extra box here, you can see this box here. When I was streaming last time, I must have changed some settings. It's just you weren't able to see this extra box here. So it kind of looked like I was just sort of telepathic, that I was just like, oh, I know what I'm doing here. And I don't know why. I mean, I actually quite like the idea of people thinking, oh, he just knows what he's writing. He just press enter and it just comes in. But I think it's probably, like, for educational purposes, better that you actually see that extra box of the different things that I can click on to make it easier. Right, busy is true. Right, and then here's where we put all this stuff. And it might just be a sort of copy and paste job. So that we still need to do, that's fine. Yeah, we can use most of this, not all of it, but most of it. So here we can just literally just use the deck trans itself. We don't need to do any script to get hold of it. And yeah, I wanted that to just be a little bit faster. So at the moment it's taking 1 second. I want it to take half a second. And I'm just staring at that just for a little bit, checking that's okay. So that's good there. And instead of having the original code, we're just going to have deck script summon. And then while deck script.busy Okay, so hopefully everything should just summon a bit faster, and people can get to actually play the game a bit faster. It's also a very practical thing because we're going to be dabbling with the attack thing. Yeah, that's nicer, isn't it? I think I prefer that. Yeah. So another thing which I want to introduce as well is like at the moment you can like use a card and then use another one afterwards, which is kind of okay. That kind of works, but I want, yeah, actually no, that's it. That's all what we're going to do. We're just going to make sure when you actually use a card, it just doesn't take quite as long. So I think just when it's spending mana, it can just spend that mana a bit faster. Otherwise, you're just waiting a little bit too long. So what actually happens when you play a card? It spends the mana, then it spins around and goes down. So the actual spending mana thing, maybe I could make it rotate a little bit faster, and it just spend them both at the same time. Let's give that a try. Okay, how are we going to do that? We need to go onto the mana script, which I think we've got open already. So yeah, I'm pressing Control MO, which is just so useful in closing everything down, so I can actually look. So spend mana coin. Yeah, so I'm staring at this. At the moment, what's happening is it's essentially searching for the furthest right mana coin that is unspent, spending it, making it twirl around, and then getting rid of it, and then going for the next one. And it just does that whatever mana coins you're actually spending on it. I believe, let's just... Yeah, so... Oh yeah, I see, yeah. So I think the only slight problem is I want to just... Yeah, actually, yeah. Okay, right. I'm going to do it and then I'll explain what I do afterwards. So this, we're just going to comment that out for the time being. Because I still want it to kind of just wait a little delay between each one. So float time equals 0. Oh yeah, that still should work. Oh yeah, of course, I used the break thing. I remember that. This ideally shouldn't interrupt anything. So time equals 0. Then we're waiting for a tenth of a second, I think. Oh yeah, and we've got to make sure we're actually changing the time as well. So time plus equals time dot delta time. Wicked. Right, so that's waiting a tenth of a second. But here's where it gets a bit complicated. I want to make sure that it's still busy until the last coin has finished rotating. So there's multiple ways I could do this, but I think the easiest way is to just go... Yeah, like I say, I just had this worry that like someone's going to be screaming at at their TV, being like, "No, there's such an easier way of doing this." But I quite like this method. I'll show you what I'll do. For in I equals 0, I less than individual coin scripts dot count I plus plus while busy. Right, so I'll try and explain everything that's going on. So the problem that I had before is the spending mana just took too long because it would wait for the whole coin to spin round. Whereas I've changed it now so that it just waits like 1/10 of a second before it spends the next mana. And it makes make coin become spent. That's fine. And now once, like, let's just say it's 3 mana, that whatever it is that you're doing, it will wait like 3/10 of a second, and then it will wait till all the coins have finished rotating, which in essence should be faster. I just want to check the only slight problem we've got. Okay, yes, mana available equals false. Okay, so that should work. Right. Let's give this a try. So speedier, right. Okay, that's not bad. Yeah, okay, so yeah, it actually, I know, I did all of that, and, and the payoff is that this just occurs a little bit faster, which is, I'm kind of fine with that, that's alright. Yeah, okay. Right, brilliant. Okay, so we're making good progress. Oh yeah, I can't spend any because. So it's also, I had a little problem earlier, and I'm essentially trying to create a problem. Not create a problem, but it's part of the bug fixing process. I don't, when you spend it, I want that card to remain where it is until. Yeah, because like I don't want for some reason it just sometimes just goes back down, which I'm still trying to work on why that is, but we'll worry about that later. Right, in turn. Yeah. Okay. So it looks like we can actually do the fun part. We're actually going to sort out the attacking phase. So when it lands, it smashes down. Sorry, I'm thinking out loud. I actually would rather it landed and then you have a turn to get ready and then it attacks. I think that'll make sense. So sorting out the attacking phase. Right. So monster script. So yeah, the monster is going to have access to quite a lot of things. So what are all the things that we're going to want to affect? So I'll explain the order of the things. In fact, let's go. Actually, sorry, gone back a bit too far. You know what? What actually makes a lot of sense here is if I have a whole separate script that's just going to be called attacking or combat script. So it's going to I'm going to have a routine which just covers everything that I want to happen during the combat. And then I'll write down it all in comments, so then we can just click through each one bit by bit. Yeah, that should be fun. Okay. I mean, it's fun in my books. Right, okay. So I think we should have a new core script, which we'll call combat script. I was going to attach everything to the to the monster that's attacking. I was going to attach all the code to there, but I think it makes sense that we have a big important script that everything can access. So let's go into here. Let's go add this combat script. Bit of it. Right. Okay. Okay, so and even though I made this big deal about me trying to avoid using as many singletons as possible, I believe the combat script is too important and too crucial that we do want this to be a singleton. So yeah, I think with big important things, you kind of need them to be. So, public static combat script instance. wide awake. Now, like for sort of future problems, which doesn't matter too much, there is, if ever we wanted some code to stick from one scene to the next, there is a whole extra bunch of code which I'll cover at some point, because at the moment all we've done is we've got one like scene, one level, and that's one of those things that I'm going to worry about later. But I thought I'd mention it now because there is a whole extra bit of code which I can't remember off the top of my head, but it's to do with like don't destroy unload, where you change scene. But we'll cross that bridge a bit later. That's fine. Okay, so public void begin combat. Oh, that doesn't need to be a semicolon. Busy. Okay. And now this is going to be the daddy of coroutines, of enumerators, because I'm going to fit quite a lot of things in here. And I think I think it might have been last episode or the episode before. This is a time where I'm just going to put in comments on everything that I'm going to do. So, combat routine. And we're going to kind of go through it one by one. So, busy equals true. Busy equals false. Okay, so okay, so I need to sort of visualize what where we're going here. So, okay, we don't want any error messages. So, okay, start coroutine, combat routine. Right, so first of all, I kind of want the enemy to sort of jump up a little bit. So let's go, jump up a bit, and then to sort of almost make it initiate that it's doing its attack. So enemy jump to initiate attack. Make destroy the correct amount of defender beans. I just thought if anyone suddenly joins halfway through, it'll look a little crazy. They'll be like, "What are you doing? You're you seem so sure in what you're doing, and none of this makes any sense." Come on, we need to make them to us. Yeah. Anyway, it's obvious, right? I kind of like the idea of them sort of bouncing off the screen, kind of like in sort of Smash Brothers when they just get knocked off the screen. Yeah. By bouncing them off the screen. Deal the excess damage, I guess. Excess damage to the town heart. Get the attacker beans to attack the monster. Deal the correct amount of damage to the monster. Yeah, I'm using monster. I was going to do enemy, but I think monster just sounds a bit better. So it's and we are going to be doing checks. Game over check for Town Heart, and is the monster defeated? Question mark. Okay, right. So we've got quite a lot to cover. Let's go for it. So first of all, we want to make the enemy like actually do the attack routine. So we'll need access to the monster script, I think, yeah. Oh yeah, so this is actually private void. Yeah, set monster script. And yeah, I made a point of saying how I don't like to use the find thing, but this new sort of version of scripts kind of I quite like. So it's oh yeah, right. Let's make it look a little tidier here. Just I might sort of, yeah, just purely because I'm trying to remember exactly how the code works. So if monster script is equal to null. So if it hasn't actually found anything yet, then we're going to do some code. Monster script equals find object of type right. So monster script. Okay. Yeah, okay, we're getting there. So, yeah, this is the sort of code where I was very, yeah, I wasn't sure whether I like it or not, but I'm kind of at peace with it because it will only ever, ideally, and what I'm going to do, I'm just going to put a little tester here as well. Monster script is equal to null, then no, debug.log this shouldn't happen with some exclamation marks. So what I'm basically when I'm setting this monster script, actually no, I'll say get monster script, I think that makes more sense. Yeah, so when I'm getting this monster script, it's going to check the entire scene, which is, you know, like I say, you want to avoid using this as much as possible, but I think we're okay in this case. Yeah, so it's going to check for the monster script, then set our variable to it, and then if there wasn't actually anything to be found, and monster script is still equal to null, it's going to give me this message. But either way, it's still going to return either a null monster script. But ideally, we should never see this message. I just want to have that just as a sort of safety, safety blanket, I think. Right. So we know when something, if we know when something's going wrong. So now I would rather actually the monster movement. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yes, yeah, you're right. Yeah, like I agree with you. Yeah, returning on set is a little weird. Yeah, I agree. That's why I've sort of changed it to get, um, yeah, because it makes a bit more sense. Like I think the reason that like it's actually been a little while. I mean, I for a while, I just, like in my early days of programming, I was just like, well, why don't we just have everything public, every single one of these functions and things public, because it's much easier. But then you really do run into problems when you're trying to access something and you're thinking, oh no, I shouldn't be changing this internally. So yeah. Anyway, right. That's good. So now we want to go into the monster script. And do so yeah, we're going to have public void perform attack animation. Right, attack animation routine. Oh, it's another coroutine within a coroutine. It's like my dream. Right, there we go. Nice. Okay. Right. So I kind of, I know this is kind of, I don't want this to be a I'm not going to do this for every single thing that I do, but where I actually kind of want to sort of have a look at what the screen looks like and work out exactly what I want it to do. So I'm just going to quickly, now that we've sped everything up, it shouldn't take too long. I want to just quickly get to the bit where there's going to be a monster there, and I just kind of want to visualize exactly what I want it to do. Right, yeah. Okay. And turn. Okay, so what exactly, how are we going to do this? So, I kind of like the idea that he sort of... let's go take this off maximum screen. On... yeah. Just for the time being. So, yeah, it's quite often like the... like you kind of got to visualise it. So I kind of like the idea that he sort of jumps up, slams down there or something, and then sort of goes bang. Yeah, maybe sort of a big bounce and then bounces back. Yeah, I quite like that. Bam, bam. Okay, right. So where were we? So 4 and 6. And how high do we want it to go? Let's just say if that was 6, that's a bit too high. 4. Yeah, so it goes up. So it bounces up to where its pinnacle is about like 2 higher than where it was. And then when it goes back, it's just, say, half a point higher. Okay. All right, now I've visualised that. That kind of makes a bit more sense. Sorry, I just needed to bring that scene up to kind of get to that point. Yeah. Yeah, okay. So another thing, obviously, I kind of want to deal with this order in layer thing, because at the moment this is behind everything. But yeah, okay. So it's currently 6:2. Yeah. Okay. So move to point bounce Y. Monster trans. 2 forward, which it would be. Oh yes, so it's 4. So new vector 3, 4, and 2, and 0. Actually, no. Of course, we don't even need to do that anymore. It's good. How long is it going to take? Let's go 0.5 seconds. And the bounce height, I want it to be 2. Okay. Okay. So that's it bouncing forward. Now we want it to then move back to the original place. So that's going to take half the amount of time. So it's a sort of boom, and then it sort of bounces back quickly. Then we've got this can go back to 6 here. The height, I kind of like it 0.5 because I want there to be sort of more impact on when it's going forward, and it bouncing back is less significant. So that looks pretty good. We now no longer need that. And oh no, hold on. So I've got last episode I made another singleton which is a screen shake. Which I can just use. I can just fit in wherever I want, and it's quite flexible in that, like, you can't ever make it shake too much. I've sort of put a bit of code to make sure that you can't ever make it shake too much. So we'll go, and again, another thing which I'm looking to develop as well. I can't remember what I called it. Shake screen. There we go. Yeah. Let's go, maybe let's go there. Okay, so it moves forward, sort of slams, and I kind of want to, at this point, then make the beans jump away, but that's okay. We have made some progress here. So make enemies jump. So we were actually going to have get monster script dot perform attack animation. While monster script dot busy null, and I think that's okay. I've got actually a bit of an idea. It's going to kind of confuse things, but it's like I remember. Sorry, I've just been talking gibberish for a little while. So. In old SNES games, what would happen in old like SNES RPGs, there would be a character that would cast a spell, right, and it would kind of obliterate everything, right? It would do this really cool animation, right, that was really cool for the SNES days, and then after it's done, like this, like okay, the animation's over, and then you determine how much damage or what's been done, and that's at the moment the route which I'm going down, and I'm not sure if I like that. So what I actually want to do is I'm going to do something a little. So I mean, this is fine, but I kind of like while we're doing this, it's like I'd rather make something just a little bit fancy here. We're going to have public bool performing attack. I might regret this decision. So it's going to be similar to the busy thing. Performing attack equals true, but we're actually going to make it false here. So performing attack equals false. Okay, the reason I'm doing that is because the next thing that we're going to have is to destroy all the beans that get damaged, and like I say, I want the beans to be destroyed when it actually moves over to attack. Oh, hold on, weird English question. If I hit an object, is it called the hitted object or the hitten? It's definitely not hitten. I think in this case, it's neither of the two. Yeah. Oh no. Yeah. It's yeah. I'm hitting the object. I have hit the object. Yeah. Just hit. Yeah. Yeah. That is. I had to think there, but yeah. So it's. I think there's sometimes. I think technically hitted is still in the English in the English dictionary, but I think you just use yeah, hit. Right. So yeah, we're going to have okay. Right, now this is going to be right. I realised I was rushing with when I was actually building up the army. Was it last episode? Trying to get hold of all of these bean scripts, I hadn't actually accounted for that at all. At the moment, what's happened is whenever you're creating either an attacker bean or a defender bean, right, so this is all saved, this is still good. But yeah, when you're, let's have a look. I'll show you that, like, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a silly problem. I shouldn't have really. I should have dealt with this nearer the time. But if I'm, say, creating some defender beans here, right, they're created, and at the moment, oh, they are still technically okay, though. That's actually good to know. That's better than I thought. So all of these, even though they're like children of this building script, there's nothing that's actually accessing any of these. So we're going to. So I want to have some sort of like code in this defense thing that's like a list. I think is what I should say. A list of. Yeah, so I can access all of this, because at the moment, even though they're like a parent, there's actually nothing saying that they belong to this. There's nothing accessing it, so we need to get this list, which is fine. It should be pretty easy. I just, it's something that I should have probably dealt with last episode. And I definitely should have tried to get hold of the code while it was there. Okay. Right. So, fence building script. Okay, now I've got to be aware this is a child here. Like, it's a child of a generic building script, but that shouldn't be a problem. Okay, so that's fine. We can stop this. Oh yeah, sorry, I didn't explain. Sorry. Where are we? So with the combat script, we've already done the initiating the attack. So this one I can put a sort of, I can get rid of this. We've done that bit. The next bit is destroying the amount of defender beans. And at the moment, there's nothing. I need to work out a way of accessing the defender beans. And for me to be able to do that, they're all attached to this. They're all created and attached to this defense building script. Right. So, yeah, that's fine. And I've actually got absolutely no reference to it whatsoever, which is fine. Right, so where are we up to? Right. Sorry. Right, anyway. So we're going to have we can still have it as a private list. Oh, not light. List. Come on, Unity, you should know exactly what I'm thinking the whole time. Bean script. Defender bean scripts. So when we're actually adding them, individual move. So what's actually happening in here? So this is where we're creating the bean and then we're moving it into position. That's fine. So what we actually need to do is if defender bean scripts is equal to null, then we're going to have defender bean scripts equals a new list. So it should only actually need to do that once, because even if all the beans are destroyed, it's still actually, the list is still intact. Okay. And over here, I think now that we've actually created this bean script, we can go defender bean scripts dot add. Okay, we now, like, the reason I've done all this is just so that I can access all of the, so that I can actually have access to all of these beans somewhere in code. So that should do it. And it's one of those things which I'll probably turn, I'm going to actually keep it public so I can just see it to check that it's done all the things that I want it to do. Okay, and now we're going to have the routine for destroying the defender beans. So that's going to have an int. We're going to create a routine for that. Yeah, so I think that this should all work. So start coroutine. Number of beans to destroy. I know it does sound a little bit depressing. You have these defenders purely to block an attack and then die instantly afterwards. But like, I don't know. I quite like that idea. You know, they're happy. They're fulfilling their duty. It's all good. When you can copy and paste, you go for it, right? So if just trying to work out exactly where we're going to go with this. Oh yeah, that's it. Sorry, sort of thinking out loud. So yeah, I'm going to create a routine that's just going to blast all of the defender beans like in one go. And I do like the idea of loads sort of flying around, splattering. So I'm going to have a bit of fun when I'm putting the code together to actually, you know, because I like that sort of randomness of them all just splattering everywhere. And yeah, there's going to be a little bit of randomness involved. So, no, not here. Where shall I put it? Number of beans dying, that's fine. So if so defender bean scripts, that's what I called it, yeah. Okay. Nope, that's not what I called it. Right. Is greater than 0, and we're going to have another little routine here, which is make beans. I just feel bad in using the word die, but make bean die. Yeah. So it's going to do that, and I'm just going to have here, well, number of beans dying is greater than 0. Again, it's one of those where kind of like, so there's a game which I played when I was younger. Oh, bean splatter! Should have? No, you know what? We're going to change it to splatter. Splatter sounds much better. I mean, yeah, okay, yeah, I'm sold. Yeah, okay, right. Executive decision. It's going to be make bean splatter, right? And yeah, okay, sweet. Okay, that makes me so much happier. Right, let's rename this. Yeah. Yeah. Number of beans splattering. Let's go. Okay. That's a lot more light-hearted. Yep. Okay. Okay. Yep. Done. Yeah. Okay. I feel so much happier now. Right, fantastic. So here is where we're going to do the bean splattering routine. So, move to point bounce Y. Yeah, okay. And what I will do, Another thing which so I've got the skills. I think I'm pretty good at actually coding, but like one thing which I do want to do at some point, it might not be today, is I want to make a particle effect. So when it actually dies, at the moment it's just going to just destroy. It's just going to destroy itself. It's just going to disappear as it sort of lands. But yeah, at some point I want to have like a little particle effect of it sort of splattering. Yes, I'm looking forward to doing that. It's just, yeah, like particle effects is a whole skill. I mean, like I'm sure people could almost get a degree in just doing particle effects, because like as much as I know a little bit about it, there is so much going on when it comes to particle effects, and you can make a really nice sort of splatter thing. Yeah. Right. So where are we going? So yes, okay. So where should we actually make it move to? So what we're going to do, we're going to have beanscript.getTrans. Let's make life a little bit easier on ourselves. We're going to have no, not that. Because I haven't worked out how many times I'm going to do this, but I think this just looks a little bit more professional, so we're not constantly calling that function. Right, what am I doing wrong here? So I'm going to fill that in a sec. So yeah, here is where I'm going to just put quite a bit of randomness to make it just a little bit spicier. So yeah, this might look like terrible when it actually comes to part. I mean, part of what I like is sort of constructing everything and then seeing it all play out. So I realise that like at the moment I'm just going quite heavy into the coding, but hopefully the payoff will actually be pretty good, because yeah, it will hopefully look quite nice when you see everything sort of bouncing and it, yeah, right. So where are we making it move to? So, given that like each square is 1 unit, I think the range should be somewhere between, say, 7 along, and yeah, and it could land anywhere. That's fine. So, okay. So let's say -7. I quite like 0.5, so they can technically bounce forward. No, maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe not. No, change my mind. And height-wise, somewhere between, say, maybe minus 1.5 to 1.5. Time to take. I want that to be random as well. Not anything too much, but just so they don't all just sort of splatter in unison. I still will like that sort of slight randomness. So yeah, nothing too bad. So maybe 0.4 to 0.7, I think. and bounce height. Again, all of this is going to be random, so I quite like this. That is yeah. I've probably put more effort into this than is necessary. So. So 0.5 to 2.5 F. I'm kind of looking forward to seeing how that works. Right. So yeah, this looks ugly. I just like the idea of them all splattering in random directions. So, what are we actually doing here? So it's just going to give us a number which we'll work out what it is at the moment. And I think what I want here, this will just be useful for later, is I'm going to have a public int get number of defenders. Yeah, I think that will be useful for later. Okay, and also once we've done all of this, we can actually right here. We want to have our main. We want to affect the number. So. So we can actually public void lower defense. I know I was thinking I could try and have it as that and put a minus number in there, but I think we just have a separate function. And it's going to be actually similar to this. So defense total minus equals defense to lower, set defense total to defense total. So when we're actually adding this, I just want to have a quick look at this function. Right, what's actually happening? Oh yeah, so now I've actually seen this, I kind of want to change the name to this to make text bounce routine, because like I think that'll make a lot of sense in my head. So yeah, we'll rename it. Because we're not actually adding the defense there, we're just making the text bounce. Okay. It's a bit of text trans. And let's go have add a little bit of spice. Yeah. Oh no, hold on. Ah! Sorry, boink. I need to make sure I'm using the words correctly. Right, because it's boinking. It's not bouncing. It's just sort of, yeah, sort of. Yeah, it's kind of boinking. Right. Okay. I think once we've done this, I'm probably going to test the combat afterwards to see where we're at, to see if we've kind of made the correct amount of progress. I just want to do another couple of so float boink size equals 1.25f. If not bigger. So yeah, what I'm basically doing here is, obviously when you're gaining defense, I want it to sort of bounce up, but when you're losing, I want it to sort of still bounce, but kind of bounce inwards. So it kind of more gives you the impression that it's getting smaller. So that should just be boink size. I'm just checking I've got the correct. So size amplification. Okay. So, I think we can just use that. Make text boink routine, and this one here we don't want it to make it, so we're going to put in the argument as false. But actually, one thing which is quite useful is, I don't know if you've noticed how I've got bool bigger equals true. When you're actually putting in a variable, if you actually set it, if it's the last argument in a function and you just set it to true, that means that if you do nothing, it will assume that bigger is true. So as much as I can easily put true here, if I can spell it correctly, I don't actually need to, because it's going to default. So yeah, so we might take that out later, but that I shouldn't have to. I think that's fine. Okay. Right, let's just, I think that makes more sense to just be above there instead. Okay, so we're getting there. Another thing that we haven't done is we're starting it, and now we want to actually another thing that we've done there is with our beans that we've got access to, we want to make sure when it's splattering, we no longer need it as part of the list. So we're going to remove it here, I think. So what is that? It's bean add. Oh yeah, it's this one here. So defender bean scripts dot remove at 0. Yeah. Oh yeah. I was going to say, if I left it like that, it would just be telling one bean. Yeah, if I didn't put that code in, it would just be telling one bean to just go completely crazy. But now I've actually, yeah, so we're removing it, so when it goes through, that should be fine. Okay. And that's me. Right. Oh. We're no longer busy. Right. Busy true. There we go. Okay, bean splattering. So now we just need that. Actually, you know what? I think I've done all of that. So while doing that, okay. So we need to access it as well. What's the easiest way of accessing it? Yeah, we'll do the same thing. Private defender building script. Defense building script, yeah. So we're essentially using all of this script again. But to get hold of the defense building. So, right. And it's one of those times where it's like, is it actually quicker to copy and paste and change all the variables, or is it quicker to actually just create a function? But and the more I look at it, I think it's actually more effort to actually do it this way, but that's okay. So I want to have a quick look at it before we've done that. So we haven't done the full attack motion yet, but I think we're getting close to doing the first part of it. So get defense building script, get all of that. This shouldn't happen, that's fine. Okay. Oh yeah. Let's find out what it. What did I actually call the function in the first place? Control M O. Destroy defender beans. Okay. So. So yeah, like we're first of all just getting the number of defenders remaining. So oh yeah, right, okay. Sorry, just as I'm putting actually, you know what, let's just for the time being yeah, I'm just trying to work out because I want to make sure I've done the maths, because the idea is you can't destroy more than the number of defender beans you've got. So if it's got an attack of 15, you only have 10. Actually, like for the time being, I'll do the maths a little bit later, but I do want to actually see if this bit works. So I've already done code to deal with if we don't have enough defenders. So for the time being, let's just go. Right, and we need access to this monster's attack. Oh, I'm trying to work out if it's serialized. Does that mean that we can get access to it? If not, I can just make that public, I think. Actually, no, sorry. No, yeah, so I'm just experimenting. I just want to see if we can get access to this. What's the script on? No. Just have a get attack. So yeah, so that way, yeah. That should be fine. Okay, so yeah, the reason I've sort of worked this out is we want to just work out, we want to destroy the number of beans equal to the monster's attack. So monster script dot get attack. Yeah, the reason that I kind of want to test this first. Oh, there's quite a lot of things that can go wrong, but it'll be fine. It'll be fine. It will just magically work, right? So, and we're just going to have like very temporary. Right. So yeah, I'm just putting this here as a button that I can press to get it to check it, to get it to work. Now how far along did we go? I'm going to go O. So yeah, it's not going to fix everything, but hopefully that'll. Right, now let's find out if we've got any error messages. Well, like I know that like I've been a sort of a fun little yeah, how many keys do I have left? Yeah, like I kind of want to just work my way through on the keyboard, but I can't remember what letter I'm up to. And yeah, I mean, this probably isn't the best way. So it's like all of these letters do something which may or may not create an error message. Like I'm just imagining like the chaos if like I sort of release the game and it's like, oh, by the way, all the letters do something completely random that were there for debugging purposes. I will eventually. I'm going to have a big sort of like session where I just get rid of all of these. Right, so let's go and make this full screen. And I set it to O. So yeah, if I suppress O now, there would be an awful lot of error messages because the this is a completely different unit to the thing that's actually being summoned. Right, let's go create some defenders. So right, okay. The moment of truth. Oh, I haven't destroyed them afterwards. Okay, that was okay though. You know what? That's okay. I'll live with that. Okay, that looked pretty good though. I'm pretty happy with that. Yeah, okay. That was what I wanted to achieve. Right. Yes, okay, fantastic. Right, okay. So, I think one thing which is quite nice with like streaming instead of coding on my own is like what I would normally do. I'd be like, you know what, that looks so good, I'm just going to chill. I'm just going to chill for the next half an hour. You know, I'm just going to have a victory cup of coffee, just chill. But it's like, what is good is like, so we have actually made some good progress now. That is about how I wanted it to look. Yeah, I'm actually really happy with that. That's brilliant. But yeah, I'd normally just chill for a little bit, whereas it's like now I'm like, right, yes, okay, now let's do the next bit. That's brilliant. You know, it's like, right, fantastic. Okay, cool. So we forgot to destroy it afterwards. Okay. Right, fantastic. Sorry, yes, so this bit has now been done. We are looking good. Yeah, and I'm actually, even just to remind myself as well, actually I'll just put a comment there. Add particle effect. Yeah. I was going to have it as a debug, but then it's going to give me about a million reminders every time the enemy attacks. Right. So we've got to do the maths to work out what the town heart is. Hey! Oh, hello. Oh, how are you doing? Satterfield H or H. Oh, cool. Oh, wicked. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. You're exactly right. I think, like I say, like, I mean, because that is, I think that is the problem which I have with coding. Whenever I do something, I'm like, oh wow, that works really well, brilliant. Right, now we're just going to do nothing for the next hour. Oh yes. Oh man. Oh, quality. Oh yes. Oh, awesome. Oh, thanks for joining me, man. That is way awesome. I'll sort of keep you up to speed with everything that's going on. We're making a sort of a card drafting based game where you're fighting where you're defending a town, and you've got to get sort of beans like that are attack beans and defend beans to prevent them from like to try and kill the monster before it destroys the town. Yeah. Oh, I know who you are now. Yeah. Oh, quality. Oh, that's so cool. And like we've got as far as the monster attacking, essentially destroying all the defender beans. But like I want the sort of like whatever, if it destroys all your defense beans, then it goes on to hitting the town. So that's what we're going to work on next. We're going to be dealing the excess damage to the town heart. So how are we going to do that? We need access to the town heart, don't we? Let me just have a quick look at something. Sorry, I'm starting this up so I can access. Yeah, this is the town heart. So I'm actually doing this just so I can get the script and we can work with that. Awesome. Oh, I really haven't got much going on here. Let's just have a public int get life total. So let's get a script which means we can get access to the life total. Yeah. Actually, that's a good point. I probably should do something. At the moment, I've just got this little thing saying, why don't you download Box of Tear? Like, I probably need to advertise it. One thing though. Okay, I can explain why I haven't got it. Yeah, I probably should. So it turns out I'm trying to learn the entire of Twitch right from the beginning. So I've done kind of a few little things. Sorry, let me go return life total. I've done a few little things, but I've realised there's actually quite a lot to learn to try and understand things. So that's a thing which I have got to access, because I suppose I could have exclamation mark Box of Tear, and then it sort of brings you a link to link to the game. Right. Let's have a look. Oh, I have done nothing here, have I? This is okay. That's fine though. Okay. So, right, how much damage? So, defenders remaining equals this. If so, if this number here that's it, yeah. If this number here is greater, need to code a Twitch bot or use an existing one such as Nightbot. Oh yeah. Oh okay. Ah, cool. Oh right. Oh wow. Yeah. How does everyone know? No, this is brilliant. Okay. Okay. I'm going to do this. I'll do this for the next stream. Like the. Yeah. It's also one thing. Sorry. Just. I know I had a little break. I do apologise. One thing which I'm looking to do. With one of those bots. Oh yeah. Oh. Oh really? Is it actually as simple as that? Okay. Oh, fantastic. Okay. Sorry. Right. Sorry. I'm trying to read chat. And trying to explain things at the same time. So, for anyone watching the YouTube video, it's going to look like I've had a sort of episode where it's like, oh, Pete's just gone crazy. He's just talking to himself. I'll quickly explain. I made a game for the App Store and the Google Play Store it's quite fun. There's actually a little I put a little video up here just in the top right corner to kind of give you an idea as to sort of how the game sort of plays and everything. So it's kind of a little bit like Tetris, but where you're creating boxes instead of things, and you've got to try and make big boxes. It's quite fun, and as far as anyway, I thought I'd quickly turn that on. But yeah, so no, don't worry. No, this is all useful. I'm actually going to have a look into that. What I'll do, in fact, I'm going to do like the old man thing, where I just copy and paste. I just get all of that, and yeah, because I just never. I haven't actually even considered the concept of commands. Anyway. But yeah, I will. I'm gonna get onto that. Anyway, no, thanks for that. That's actually really useful. Right. Anyway, right. Where were we? So, we want to make the town if there's excess damage, if they're doing more damage than the number of defender beans, we want the sort of damage to trample over and hit the town, and we want to make the town shake, and we want to do a few things, and we want to lower the number. So, let's go. Right, if the monster attack is bigger than... in fact, let's go make a separate integer here so we don't have to keep doing that. Monster attack equals... monster attack is greater than defenders remaining. I think this code needs to be above here, I think. Actually needs to be above here as well. Right, let's have a look. Right, there we are. Okay. And we'll have another in here. Oh, beans to splatter. Right, yes. Equals... monster attack. Okay. So if the monster attack is bigger than the number of defenders remaining, then what are we doing? We're having beans to splatter just equals the monster attack. No. Sorry, this is actually quite simple maths. For some reason, my brain just isn't quite working here. Number of beans equals equals just the number of defenders remaining. That's fine. And here we're going to have yeah, that makes sense. And we have another in here, which is damage to town heart equals 0. and damage to town heart equals I think it's monster attack minus defenders remaining. That should work. Okay, so yeah, we've just done a bit of code here, so I'm just trying to work out how much attack it needs to have, how much damage we're doing to the town heart, and obviously if you have enough defenders, so we're only going to actually create so if the damage to town heart is greater than 0, then we're going to deal the excess damage to the town heart. So what do we want to do? I'm going to do a little bit of code, a little bit of comments within here. So we want the life to go down, town heart life to go down, shake the town heart. Oh, I think it's just those two things. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, so this is actually a part of the building, so that's fine. So set life total, that's fine. So we're going to have another public void take damage. There we go. Yeah, it's quite therapeutic. It's like just going through this whole combat script, like one by one. Right, private eye enumerator. Oh, it's good. It's good to see the hassle. Oh, that's so cool. Private eye enumerator. Yeah, so we're going to use similar code to when we shape the screen. Oh. I see what I've done. I've just put the word routine for no reason. There we go. Right. So you'll probably notice here that I've got this variable called busy, which is a boolean, but it's all part of the building script, the main sort of like the parent of everything. So we've got a busy thing here. I haven't just created a variable out of nowhere. So first of all, life total minus equals damage to take routine. No. Oh, that's why I'm confused. I've called that there. Right. Okay. We're fine. We're back in business. Okay. Oh, in fact, I can just. Oh yeah. Okay. I don't even know the purpose of this function. We can just do that. So we've taken off the life. We've then set the text, and we want to make the screen shake. I mean, we want to make the buildings shake. So how are we going to do that? So first of all, we need a vector 3 base vec, and I'm just checking that we actually that we didn't create one in here. No, we didn't. That's fine. Base vec equals building trans dot position. And as much as I like the idea that it could shake more if it takes more damage, I'm just going to keep it simple for the time being. So float time equals 0.5. While time is greater than 0. Oh yes, okay, sorry, yeah, I'm used to my head being in the bottom left and covering loads of scripts. You're like, what are you doing, Pete? No, it's okay, we've got it covered. Right, here we go. So time minus equals and we're gonna have building. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, no, that's fair enough. Really good to like for you to join us. That's really nice actually. Like I realised that it is. My stream is more focused for like sort of coding and stuff, and like it might look a little bit foreign, but it's really nice. Yeah. Oh, can't wait. Yeah, we'll have a beer again soon. That'd be really nice. Genuinely, really awesome to hear from you, man. And then we just want to set the building trans back to its original position. Sweet. Okay. Right, yeah, this is awesome. Okay, so yeah, this feels like quite a lot of code just to make it shake a little bit. So I'll roughly explain what's going on. So it's taking damage. It's moving its text down. It's changing the text over here by lowering the life total and doing all that. And then we're making it shake for half a second. So like we're setting the time. So while the time is greater than 0, it's ticking down, and the position is going to be where its position is plus a random amount so it sort of shakes less and less as it goes down, and then once it's finished shaking, then that's the end. So we've actually kind of done all that. That's fine. So town heart. So this. Oh yeah. We've got to get access to the town heart, which is fine. And I will have a little thing here, which just if life total is less than or equal to 0, then debug.log game over. And that's how they'll know that it's game over. I'll obviously do a lot more stuff to actually to explain that it's game over, but that should be all right. Okay. So, oh yeah, that was it. So we've got the defense. Oh, I'm pressing the wrong button. That's why. Okay. So I'm actually going to just create it from scratch. This shouldn't take too long. Town heart script. Town heart script. Script. Sounds good. So we're doing all this just to get access to the town heart. And I'm kind of okay with this because the combat is one of those big key scripts that sorts it all out. So equals find object of type town heart script. Right. Okay, combat routine. So if all of that is there. Go to Town Heart script. Take damage. Yeah, damage. Okay. Right, so I've actually been doing quite a lot of mumbling to myself and not actually explaining where I'm going. We've created... so far, we've got the enemy attacking. It's destroying all the relevant amount of like defender beans. Oh yeah, no worries, man. So we've got... so it's taking... it's destroying the relevant amount of defender beans, and if the attack is more than the number of defenders, it will destroy all the defenders and then do the excess damage to the town heart. And I've got a bit of code here to check if it's doing any damage, and it then puts this damage. It takes damage, and then the town heart will shake. So I'm going to actually do another little test. What's our... Where are we up to? Right, so it's O. Okay, O is the one. So let's give this a try. Just have a quick look. Oh yeah. I could probably do that as well, since we've done it for all the others. Yeah, that should be good. Right. Right, let's give this a test. Now, I intentionally, like for testing purposes, I want to check. Oh, we got. Oh no, we haven't. I thought we had an error message, but we're okay. So I'm going to actually build defenders. I want to have enough defenders to survive the first attack. Go get some attackers in there as well. Okay. Right. So let's see if this works. So, first of all, it's going to attack once. Right. Delete the front line. That's fine. And then if it attacks again. Yeah, and then it damages that. Okay, brilliant. I'm not sure if I particularly like that screen shake. So I think if it were to attack again, it should just do 15 damage straight to this. Yeah. Which is, yeah, I mean, like, I can clean that up because it looks a little bit off, but that's still kind of okay. Right, and then in an ideal world, it should say game over. Yeah, so we got the debug message saying game over. Okay, right. Oh, fantastic! This is brilliant. Right, okay, we're actually making good progress. We now need to do the same with the attackers, where we can use quite a lot of the script. Not all of it, but we can use a decent amount of the script. So, where do we go next? So the combat script. Let's close all this down. I think it's dealing with the attackers. So deal the excess damage. So we have kind of done the game over check. We're obviously going to do more for that, but get the attacker beans to attack. Right. So, what do we actually want to happen? We want them to do the attack first, the town to shake if it needs to, and then all the beans to jump over, do their sort of fighting animation and attack. Right. You know what? I'm going to actually have a little break here because I'm going to get some black coffee and just keep myself pumped. Right, I'll be back in just a sec. I'll do the classic sussily try and advertise my Box of Tear game just while it's on the break. Let's have a look. And I've got to remember to turn the music back on afterwards. Get rid of that. Right. Sweet. Okay. Right. I'll be back in just a couple of minutes. I'm just going to make myself a quick coffee. I'll be right back. Ah, right, okay. Ah, let's go. Right. Oh wow, this game looks brilliant. Anyway, right. So we're sorting out the attackers next. Right, that's none of that. That's okay. So yeah. Right. Okay, I've got my coffee now, so I'm pumped. Here we go. So we want access to the attacker building script. And I realise what we'll need to do, we need to do something similar to what we did with the defence builders, in that we need access to all of this. So we want something similar to that. Because at the moment, like I say, with the attacking beans, I've got no reference or any way of getting access to them. So we just put this in and then get that. And one thing that occurred to me as well, just while I was making my coffee, is at the moment I haven't actually utilised any of the animations. That's not going to be too tricky, but I'm going to worry about that a little bit later. Because I've done some quite cool little animations for each one of these, but I'm gonna cross that bridge a little bit later, because it's not necessary right now. Okay, so these are going to be attacker bean scripts. Get number of attackers. Okay. Right, so what are all the things that we need? Add attack. Let's go close all this. So what are we actually going to want to do? So first of all, we have to make a reference over here. So private attacker building script. There we go. And yeah, I might regret this now, but I do quite like. I think this is an efficient way of getting hold of the script and not using too much processing. The only problem is it's just a bit of a pain to write down each time. So attack building script, get attack building script. So yeah, we're just checking to see if this current script is null or if it's anything, and if it's not, there we go, then we just find it. So okay. So we've now got access from our combat script. We've got access to the attack building script. Right. So if attack building script dot get number of attacks. I want to change that. Get number of attackers. That's fine. Get number of attackers. Right, so if that is greater than 0, so obviously there's going to be no attack animation or anything if there's no attackers. Ideally you want to have attackers at this point. Okay, so what's going to happen? So let's just write it all down. I realise there's quite a lot going on there, so get all the attacker beans to jump towards the monster. Then destroy the attacker beans. Lower the life of the monster and make the monster shake and destroy the monster if its life is lower. Oh yeah, didn't start the music again. I knew I was missing something. There we go. Yeah, destroy the monster if the life is lower than 0. Oh yeah. Oh hey man, you alright? I'm just mapping out the plan for our for what we're going to do with the attackers. So, right, building script. Right, let's go. So, here we go. Right. Make attackers attack. What I'm also going to do, it's more just, I'd rather have this bit of code in. I'm going to note the number of attackers that it's going to attack with, because in theory it should just be attacking with all of the attackers every time. But I want to just put an integer, number of attackers, just purely because I've got a couple of little sort of plans for later where this number might be relevant. Okay, so yeah, because I've got so many cool, exciting plans. Because at the moment this is an incredibly basic game, but it's just I'm trying to sort of build up the sort of I'm building up the sort of core elements that you need, so that when I'm looking to put more spicy things in the game, it should be easier. So in theory, like I say, it should be just attacking with all the attackers every time, but I want to leave that with a thing. Right, so private numerator attackers attack routine. Because and I haven't this isn't set in stone or anything, but part of me is thinking that if you have some defenders or attackers left over after you've destroyed the monster, those could actually stay for the next fight that you're going to do. But that's more I'm just giving myself the option of that. I don't know if it's I don't know if that's actually a good idea or not, but I like the idea to give myself the freedom of that. So, oh yeah, of course. So, we've got a list over here. Attacker bean scripts, yeah. There we go. Right, so we've got our list of attackers here, and just while we're creating them as well. So yeah, so it's actually going to look very similar to the defender thing. And one thing, once I've done this, I want to just check that you can see all the beans in the list. And I think part of what I like about coding is I can look at all this code that I did earlier. It's like I can't even remember what's going on here, but I know that it worked. So it's I can kind of relax slightly. So. So what do we actually want them to do? We want them to move towards. We want them to sort of jump towards the monster. So we've got to get hold of the vector where they're looking to jump to. So in fact, we'll have another argument here, which will be vector 3 monster vec. There we are. Sweet. Okay. Right. Sweet. Okay. Now, now it's again, it's my favourite thing. I'd be interested in seeing performance. I've never seen coroutines for everything versus. Yeah, so my first game, that's. I actually don't know how efficient coroutines are. It's just, to be honest, the whole update loop thing. I think the first game I ever made, I didn't know anything about coroutines, and I just whenever I was looking at the sort of update thing, and I just had so much code in the update that it just got so ugly that it's something that I probably do need to look into. Overall, the games that I've made have ran relatively well. The Boxer Tear again that I've made does rely heavily on coroutines for pretty much everything, and when you're trying to run it on a sort of a weaker device, there is a bit of slowdown. So it's something. It's just, it will be a big transition at some point where I'll have to sort of look into that. But I at the moment I just you know how happy coroutines make me. But like I say, you are right. I think coroutines might be processor wise a little bit inefficient. So so it won't be number of beans splattering, but I'll put it here. It's more just, so I'm looking at what I've done for the defense thing, and I want to keep the code similar. Make bean attack routine. So, and I still like the idea that there's going to be a bit of randomness. The only issue. Sorry, let's have a look. Sorry, I'm not very good at keeping up with chat. This is. I actually think coroutines might be faster. That's why I'm interested in seeing the performance. Oh yeah. To be honest, I don't know any other coders who rely on coroutines as much as I do. Um, so the only issue is if you have multiple coroutines versus a single update function. Yeah. I just it's like in my head I'm just imagining each update function is just going to have this massive chunk of code that goes into it, and I'm thinking every frame it's going to have to check for every single thing. And I realised as well, this is whenever you have an if statement, I always thought from a sort of human standpoint, if you have 100 if statements that are if this is the case then do this, it turns out if statements use so little processing power that it actually really doesn't matter. It's literally only if you're getting into the realm of literally a million if statements that it will have any effect. So what you're saying there is probably true. Yeah. Oh yeah. No. And yeah. So I think yeah, I just rely on coroutines just so much. Anyway, right. So what we want to do is, oh yeah, we actually also want to put the monster vec as a variable as well. Well, an if statement calls a branch, but CPUs are very good at yes. And it probably goes without saying, but when I'm making everything move, I'm using this mover script, all of the scripts within this mover thing are all coroutine based as well. So I'm just getting access to the transform. Okay. And yeah, like I say, when they're jumping over, I don't want them all to head to one point. So it's going to be head to monster vec plus new vector 3. Maybe just half a unit either way. Oh, I haven't put random at the moment. That makes no sense at all. Okay. Yeah, I think we can have a little bit of randomness as well here. So yeah, how long will it take? So random dot range. I'll have it the same sort of variability as the defense thing. So what did I have there? I think it's that, wasn't it? Yeah. So 0.4 to 0.7, that's fine. So yeah, so this is just determining how long I want the attackers to actually attack for. And bounce height is going to be, I think we can actually, yeah, as I say, I think it's going to be similar. Yeah, but not quite as high. I still want them to bounce over. I think it's sort of reasonable. Okay. Right, again, it's another one of those big chunky bits of lines of code. That makes it quite hard to fit on the screen, but we're okay. We're getting there. So. having a look. Just checking. Oh yeah, that was yeah. Right. So. Yeah, and the reason I have like number of beans attacking ++ and then -, this is like an easy way of monitoring what, so we can have it. Yeah, we can easily tell once all the beans have done their attack. We also need to affect the number of attackers in the thing, but that's a problem for another time. We'll come to that. So I really should just on reflection, I've got almost all of the actual useful code in here, and the reason I'm actually in this case, the reason I'm copying and pasting isn't just through laziness. It's actually because I want to kind of keep the coding consistent. Attacker bean. Oh no. What do I call it again? Attacker bean scripts, that's fine. Yeah, I want to just try and keep the coding consistent. Make bean. Oh yeah, of course, monster deck. And yeah, so we're removing it, and then yeah, while the number beans attacking is greater than 0. So it's going to wait for all the beans to attack, and then like and I know it seems a bit depressing. It's like they attack and then die. Like one thing that you're probably thinking, that you might be thinking when making the game, you're thinking, oh, so you can build up loads for the first attack, but then once he's attacked once, you've only got one turn to build up your army again. I will actually address that. Probably not this episode, but like there's going to be a whole concept of having armor on both your defenders and your attackers. Where, like, if you have an attacker bean who's got armor on, for example, it will do the attack, but instead of dying, it will just lose its armor, kind of a bit like Ghouls and Ghosts, in that, like, it sort of takes the damage, but it will still remain there as part of your like attack line, and the same with defenders. So part of what you want to do in the first 3 turns is not only build up a big defensive army, but ideally make as many of them armoured as you can, so you can survive multiple attacks and keep persistent damage going. But like that's, yeah, so I'm gonna, yeah, I'll deal with that like on another episode. But I thought I would just kind of like, because I think some of you might be thinking, well, why, you know, surely you've got the first attack's going to be great, and then you're just going to be scrabbling around. But there's going to be lots of mechanics that do help you towards keeping a sort of sustained attack. Because yeah, I think the thing which I'm properly looking forward to is actually creating a like making more cards that do different things, because I've got like loads and loads of like cool ideas, but I want to make the sort of base first. So right, where are we up to? Okay, so we're actually going to do again for code consistency. It's not directly. Is that actually pretty much the same? So, because I'm thinking I'm just going to sort of copy and paste a few things. Let's actually, oh, of course, there's a whole thing which I've never actually used. It's quite useful. It's where you can drag this over here and you can actually look at 2 scripts at once. So I could have done that quite a lot of times. I just remembered now. So I can actually, I want to have it looking similar to this. So public void lower attack. Attack total. That's lower. Set attack total to. So yeah, this is just going to be affecting everything. This will be affecting the number on the attack building. Oh yes, yeah. So we kind of want something a bit more like that. So we're going to rename that to make text. Oh, a semicolon. Is that all we need to do? No, not quite. Boink size. Okay, so yeah, so at the moment I'm doing the same changes that I did for the defense to the attack, and I think that's most of what we need to do. We actually now need to make the effect there. So in our make attackers attack routine. We're just going to fit this code in here. Lower attack. Okay. Oh yeah, so we're making progress. Like at the moment, like I say as well, with the combat script, we're actually just manually doing the combat, as opposed to it actually fitting in line with the game. But that'll be easy to fit in when I'm ready. But I want to just test that the attack works. Right, so I just need to have a look, just check that this is pretty much what we're looking to do. Adding attack, destroying everything. It's got a bit of randomness as to where it moves to. Okay, let's see if we can fit it in here. So, attacker building script dot make attackers attack by. Oh, that's fine. So, oh yeah, I can get rid of this now. I'll put it back with his friends. Yeah. I need more screen space. I need more size, but that's okay. Here we go. Monster Vec, which should be pretty easy to get hold of. Haven't actually made a thing for that yet. That shouldn't be too hard though. So yeah, we're just getting a. So we're creating a function so we can get access to the monster transform. Oh no, just get trans. Okay. And yeah, so far we haven't actually. What I also want to do is make the monster, when it takes damage, it shake and then the lives go down. But I want to just check this works, and then we'll worry about lowering the life. Busy. Yeah. So we're doing all that. Okay, yeah, and this segment here, we're going to worry about later. So right, let's see what that looks like. This is where kind of like I'll probably find there's an error message because I've missed something. But at the moment this looks good. But let's find out. Let's find out if this is all working. So when the combat phase occurs, it's going to all the attackers are going to jump over, and the town, the attack building's number will go down to 0. Let's give that a shot. So let's go get some attackers. Defenders. Oh yeah, I want to make those when it's refreshing the crystals. I want that whole thing to happen a lot faster. Right, here we go. So yeah, will all this happen too fast? Let's find out. Yeah, okay, that's actually didn't look as bad. It turns out you really need that to vibrate to make it look good, but that's pretty much what I was going for. And so if I just get another... yeah, at the moment the end turn doesn't do anything. Right. Yeah, okay, that's good. And obviously we want them all to jump in and then deal the damage. Okay, that's good. Okay. Yeah, that works actually a lot better than I thought. So another big thing that we need to worry about, which is when we're actually refreshing. At the moment, it's still remembering from where it was when we're like putting more beans in. It's still going off the counter as to where it was, whereas we want them to move back to the front line. There's different ways I can deal with that. Right, so making the monster take damage. Right, let's go. Yeah, oh yeah, cheers, man. Yeah, I think like it's quite nice when you've kind of got an idea as to how you want it to look, and you're like, yes, okay, that is pretty much what I was going for. So Yeah, that's pretty cool. One thing which, I mean, don't get me wrong, it wasn't too difficult, but when I turn on my OBS, if ever you if ever you think, oh, that chat box is getting in the way, and you want to bring it back up, it is quite particular what you actually need to click on to get it back up. So the reason I was a bit late starting is I had this panic of like, I have no access to my chat, I can't see any chat. This is gonna make life very difficult. Yeah. Anyway, right. Okay. So monster script. Public void. Take damage. Damage to take. So we want to make it shake. But one thing which is always this ongoing sort of comical sort of joke is when you're actually trying to read someone else's code. That is, I always find it a kind of funny experience because I'm like, oh, I have no idea what's going on here. None of this makes any sense. What does all this code do? You're using words I haven't used before. So I always want to try and make my coding sort of as clear. So if anyone was to sort of like look at this code, they'll be like, oh, okay, I see where you're going with this. Right. So what's going to happen first? We want to lower the life, make the monster shake, and oh yeah, hold on. So Twitch chat is just IRC. Oh, okay, that's interesting to know. Also, if you don't know, I have an extra. Yeah. Yeah, that is like, I think I kind of had that for a little while, having an extra browser open. But I always ran into the problem of like, as soon as I start the stream, I can then hear my own voice, and I can like it's, and I'm sort of seeing myself just slightly delayed. But I'll actually, yeah, let me have a look at this. Yeah. Oh, wow. Okay. All right, that's really good to know. Yeah. Okay. See. I mean, this is why. Like, I feel like I'm a bit of a sort of noob when it comes to like understanding how Twitch works. You know, because I think when Twitch I think I was around when Twitch first sort of like started, and I was like, oh my gosh, I can watch other people playing computer games. This is brilliant. And I just I didn't realise there's so much, like, in a good way, like actual support for people streaming, like, you know, useful things like that. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm not new to watching Twitch, but I'm pretty new to streaming and actually understanding all the little bits. But I'm actually looking forward to this because I'm going to, I'll make like a new command for Boxitaire. I'm going to work out how to, I'll get a Twitch pop-out chat, which sounds really useful. This is, yeah, absolutely all incredible stuff. Yeah, really appreciate this. Right, anyway, so make monster shake, check if its life is lower than 0, or 0 and lower, but that's okay. Oh, set attack and life. So we're going to have a function here, private lower life. Damage. Okay, so yeah, I'm just going to create a little function here where we're lowering the life. So the life is going down by however much damage is being taken, and we're just going to have, we're going to set the life, the actual text that we've got referenced, over to whatever the new life is. Yeah, that looks fine. Before I forget, cool. So I'm actually going to be a bit cheeky here. So I realised that when the town is taking damage... Oh, hold on. Oh, sorry. Oh, yeah. So if you want to get super fancy, there's a website called Stream Parrot that lets you customise... Oh, cool. Oh, nice. I think I've actually done a few things from, I think, Stream Labs, trying to get that to work. The only slight problem that I've got is because I'm using Windows 7, it means I'll have to... this background here, hold on, yeah, this background here, I'll have to change that. Like, for some reason, if you're using Windows 7, you can't have your own background, it's got to be a generic Windows one, and like, yeah, it kind of confused me as well. Right, anyway, let's see where we're at. Yeah, I just wanted to, I'm going on to this town heart because we're going to use code very similar to, I think that's most, in fact, quite a lot of this I can just copy. I didn't actually realise how much I can actually copy and just change a few things. So this is the town heart taking damage, but now I'm going to do the enemy taking damage, and quite a lot of this code I can just use again. Before I do that, I'm actually going to do something a little bit sneaky, right, where I'm going to do 0.25 and over 2, because when it was shaking a bit too much, so I'm going to make it, it's still going to shake for the same period of time, but it's not going to shake quite as much. I think that just looks a little bit better because it was just going a bit wacky. So what I've done is I have lowered the variability here with the randomness, and I'm just having time go down at half the speed. So effectively it should look the same, but just shake slightly less. Right, okay, we're just going to copy and paste this. This looks pretty nice, doesn't it? Right. Just change. It's quite nice when you copy and paste, you get red squiggly lines over all the bits that you need to change, so makes life a bit easier. And actually, this is kind of like, oh yeah, actually, well, that's the thing which I got a bit confused with Streamlabs is when you start up Streamlabs, it's the actual layout looks very similar to OBS, right? And I wasn't sure if you needed to actually just start streaming in Streamlabs or if you used OBS. I just got like incredibly like confused. With all that, right. So yeah, we can actually Oh, okay. Oh, so yeah, Streamlabs OBS is a fork of OBS. Oh, okay. So yeah, okay, that I suppose that makes sense. I think like yeah, it just I think like I feel like in many respects I feel like I'm an old man sometimes, or I'm like what is all this? What does all this mean? But yeah, I'll do an experiment because at the moment I've just got regular OBS open, not Streamlabs, and I'm not sure if you have to have one open or both open or just Streamlabs. So if life is less than or equal to 0, monster down. And yeah, destroy monster. I think the Streamlabs OBS just has all this stuff built in, but you can use the regular OBS. Oh yeah. Oh, okay. That's good because like there's a certain thing which what I want to do is like there's a couple of things that I'm looking to test at some point. Where like yeah, so because I don't know if you need Streamlabs to be open to be able to like if there's like any sort of like follower like indication or something. Anyway, right, destroy monster. Okay, we're actually making some progress here. Right, so we got that. Monster down. Okay. I do kind of want to destroy the thing just for like symbolic, so it makes sense. But I think that's going to interrupt some of the code. So I'll have destroy monster routine. So we'll at some point get a some sort of animation for when it's shaking and then slowly sort of crumbling down. So combat script. Okay. Yeah, we need to work out what the thing is. So let's go. So yeah, I realised we're going to use this number of attackers multiple times. So I'm actually going to make it sort of simpler. So we're getting hold of the number of attackers. We're then seeing if the number is greater than 0. We're then going to make them attack with the number of attackers. We're getting hold of the monster script to know where it's moving to. We're waiting until that's busy. We're now taking damage equal to the number of attackers. Oh yeah, actually another thing which I like, this is actually going to be sort of it's deceptively quite difficult to do. But one thing which I also want to have is when things take damage, not only do they shake. All right, fair enough. I'll see you in a bit, man. But yeah, I want things that not only when they shake, I want them to kind of flash, like I want it to say flash white or flash red or something, like as if it's sort of taking damage. And I haven't found an easy way of doing that yet, but that's something which I'm probably going to do some research to, look into how, like an easy way of doing that. Just like flash for just like quarter of a second. But yeah, we haven't done that yet. We're just making it shake. So. So we're actually doing all of that over here. Yes. Okay. Right. I've got more comments than actual code here, but I think that is pretty useful. So taking the damage. So let's give this a try. Let's see how it all goes. And I think, yeah, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to... oh yeah, still got to load everything up. If this works okay, I'm then going to incorporate it into when you're pressing end turn to actually get the attack to work. So actually, you know what? I'm going to be... no, let's give this a test. I want to refresh these mana crystals faster, so I'm actually going to access this code, mana script. I'm going to keep this all the way over here, just to remind me that I want to make the refreshing mana crystals just happen faster, because it's not that smooth at the moment. Right, so let's go build up a bit of an army. I mean, in this case, we can... Yeah, we're almost actually able to very slightly make the actual game. Oh, yeah. So there's a couple of little things. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this attacking thing sorted. I'll get the end turn to work a little bit better, so that it actually causes the attack. And then I'm just going to smooth a few things out, because it's like when you're summoning the attackers, at the moment, they're summoning from this spot, whereas I want them to come out of this door, which is just a little bit of editing, which won't take very long. One and two. Okay, so we can end turn once, and then this would be when the attack would occur. Yes, and it's done the damage. That's brilliant. Okay, brilliant. So we can actually set up the next line of defense and attack. End turn. So it's taking damage, and then we're still dealing more damage to it. I want to see if we can actually... I haven't worked out if it's mathematically possible to win this yet. Yeah, okay. I think it... No, it's not quite possible, is it? Because... actually, perhaps if I had some defenders, it might have been possible. I'm not sure. So, it does the attack, takes it down. Yeah, we only get it down to 10, and because he attacks first, we would eventually lose. Why would you make the first instance of actually playing the game where you lose the fight? I know. Right. Anyway, so we want to make sure that end turn will make the monster attack if it's already arrived at the position. So let's go sort that out. Okay. Oh yeah, this is just the end turn button, and it's getting hold of the end turn master script, which we want to get hold of. But before I do any of that, I want to fix these mana crystals. So yeah, we want the mana coins just to refresh a bit faster. So that shouldn't be too difficult. Because people don't want to wait for all the mana crystals to like refresh one after another. So we're going to do a little bit of code here. Just be well, time is less than 0.1. Time plus equals time dot delta time null. So yeah, now we've got it. So like it's going to just wait 1/10 of a second instead of waiting for the full animation. And here we can still use this code. I'm going to be a bit sneaky. And we can use this bit as well. So yeah, let me just test to see that works. So I'll explain what I've done, what I've changed and everything. So before I made it that when you were refreshing the mana coin, so at the end of the turn, once you've spent all the mana and it's getting to the next turn and you're refreshing your coins, it was that each individual mana coin, it had to wait for the animation to become sort of like unspent. And then before it moved on to the next one. Now instead, I'm actually like letting them all kind of get sort of unspent and like, or untapped, I guess, if we're using Magic the Gathering terminology. And it's taken like 0.1 seconds, so they'll just undo in a sort of like faster rate, I guess. And then this bit of code here is checking each coin to see if it's busy. So that like anyway it will yeah, so that way it still can't be like affected, so it still counts as being busy, or it's waiting for the last coin to no longer be busy. I'm tapping. I hope that made sense. So let's just see if that works. Again, after all that payoff, after all that explanation, the payoff's not going to be that huge, but let's have a look. So creating the coins. Now let's go get defender. Alright, end turn. So discarding the cards, creating new cards, and then refreshing. Yeah, doing that a lot faster. That's what I was after. Okay, that's good. Alright. I think that's more the reason I kind of like stopped halfway through is because that will save a lot of time when we're actually doing debugging and stuff. It'll just make life a lot easier for the future. Right. Okay. Refresh mana coins. That's all done. We don't actually need that anymore. End turn master script. Right. What are all the things that happen? And when do we want to actually put the attack in? I think it's over here. So we're making them jump forward one. Okay. So what we actually want to do is check to see the number of turns. Go to definition here. Let's go clear things up a bit. So we're going to close all but this. So we've just got this one open. Let's go to this map script and work out what's going on here. Go to definition. So jump forward one turn. Oh, so we do have oh, this actually is going to be a lot easier than I thought it would be. Okay. All right, that's a result. Okay. All right. I thought this was going to take ages. This is actually going to be a lot easier because we've got the number of turns left. So all we actually need to do is move enemy forward, or change it to monster, or get it to attack. So all we need is a number of turns left. Where are we? Where's this one? Number of turns left. I tell you, I'm going to because what I'll do, I'm going to do some research into what a serialized field means. For the time being, we're just going to get rid of that. Public int get number of turns left. Return. Yeah, this is actually a lot easier than I thought. I really thought this was going to be. This is quite simple code. So the number of turns left is referring to when you're actually seeing, before the monster actually arrives on the screen and you're seeing the little bit at the top. It's like jumping forward one space each time. But once it gets to 0, then it's arriving at the space. And this is a number, so when this is 0, then the monster's already at the place that we need to be. So so we can actually if get number of turns left is greater than 0, then we will just fix this slightly. Yeah, so we're going to if there's turns left, then it's going to jump forward. Else right now. Forgotten what I call. I forget what I call the functions. So let's find out. Let's find out. So we've got a begin combat. And that we can actually, so while the map bit script is busy, now that's only going to happen here, so we can keep that over like there. And but if there is no turns left, if the monster's already there, we're going to have busy. And I mean, I might be eating my words here, but I think that's actually all we needed to do. Let's go find out. I mean, I was prepared to spend a good sort of like hour just like looking back, thinking, what did I do last time? I think I've made that clean enough that it should just work. So we've got to test it out. Let's go for it. Right. It's also, while we're doing all of this, one thing that when I'm making any games, I'll quite often save the file. I'll always try and back up like various different versions of my game and store them online or somewhere. Store them somewhere that's, even if it's just on like a little flash drive or USB flash drive or something, just store them somewhere so that if something happens to your computer, you've always got access to them. Okay, right. So I think we've established that at this current state, I don't think it's possible to defeat the blob, but we'll find out. But I'm going to give it everything I've got. Oh yeah, so that's all good. We're just going full attack. Okay. Right, let's see what happens. Okay. Nice. Still don't know if it's actually possible. But yeah, that worked out exactly how I want it. The only slight problem is where these army beans are moving to, they're actually getting further and further back. Because there's a certain counter that I haven't reset after you've lost all of them. Yes, right, nice. Okay. So just so I can see his life go to 0, so that I get some sort of satisfaction out of that. That's good. Right. So he destroys the town, but then these attack and kill there. Oh yes. Okay. Right. Oh, I have actually done what I set out to do. That is absolutely brilliant. I'm really happy actually. So we've now got a system that works. So we have got a very vague, a basic sort of game premise now. Right, so what we're going to do now is a few things that require slightly less brain activity. Things that will just, things that just make it look a little better. So the main two things that I'm looking to do are just making it so that when you spawn a bean, it sort of spawns about there and then moves over. So that's number one. And number two, I want to make sure that when the beans are moving into place, they don't go further and further back, because I've done a bit of code which basically means they're essentially moving further and further back. So -15, that's fine. There's one other little thing that I want to check, and then we'll get to it. So here we've actually got a public, and it is only 5. That's. I just wanted to check that was still only 5, and it's the same with the defenders. We've got access to these ones over here. That's fine. I just wanted to have a check that they were still accessing them. Okay, right, brilliant. Okay, so nice, easy, sort of slightly less arduous, difficult things. We're just going to make the spawn point just a slightly nice and easy, so that this shouldn't take too long. So we've got resources, attack building. I'm just going to create an object here. It doesn't actually need to be a bean, but let's just say it's there. Kind of want to spawn it, say, there, I think. So just do a little bit of. So what I'm doing is I'm just trying to work out exactly where it is. So minus 0.03, that looks good, and minus 0.7. Yeah, minus 0.03 and minus 7. That's fine. We just remember that. Minus 0.03, minus 7. Okay. So get rid of that. I need to go back in. So let me just. So when we're creating the beans. With individual beans, creating it. So yeah, so this is just 0.3, and I think we decided 0.7, and I think we can do the same for the defender one as well. So this one, yeah, like I say, it's I think I've done the difficult bit of the day, so I'm just doing a few nice sort of light changes just to make it look a little bit better. So create beans for army routine, do all of that, and so we're summoning it to, yeah, okay, let's just give that a little test, see if that works. Right, so oh, they're still actually moving sort of diagonally up. That's fine. We just got to work out the exact point that we actually want it to go to. So this is still the local. So its first point is there. And 3.5 minus 7, 3.5. That's all good. So this is just so when we're actually moving it, we're working out where it needs to go. So it's 3.5 there and minus 7. And I want to check that's the same for the defender beans as well. Oh, I've actually done it on the defenders. Let me just undo that, just so. Yeah, it is the same, that's fine. 3.5 minus 7. Okay, let's have a little look, see how that goes. Right. Just attack us this time. Yeah, that's much better. And now the defenders. Yeah, that's much better. Okay, brilliant. Okay, so that's one thing sorted. Now, there's something which I'm going to have a look at. It's once you've like used the attackers or defenders and they've done stuff. Oh, hey. Oh, hold on. Right. Thought it was actually someone being like, "Oh, hey, how's it going?" It's actually just a spam bot. Never mind. So yeah, so when we're actually summoning one, we want to work out the point, and so that it sort of moves back down. How do we do that? Ah, that's it, the number of defenders in line. Okay. And that's, yeah, so it's all about this. It's all about changing this. So I think for attackers, this shouldn't be too much of a problem. The only problem that we've got, and it's quite easily solved, is like, yeah, we've just got to minus this number of defenders in line for however many attackers, but there's another tiny little thing we need to do as well. So when we've got, so for defenders, so here is where it just gets a little interesting. What we're going to do, we're actually going to, at the moment, we're removing it from number 1 on the list, or the first one on the list. Whereas if we remove it from the last one on the list, it will make a lot of sense. So Defender scripts count -1. So yeah, this is basically, instead of it being 0, I'm actually picking the last one on the list. I think that should still work. And I think we can actually, number of defenders in line minus equals number of beans to destroy. I think that should work, but I'm going to have to do a bit of an experiment. And for the attackers, it should be pretty much the same again. So let's do the classic, put this on the side over here so we can have a look at this and just sort of compare the scripts. So number of attackers in line minus equals number of attackers, and we still kind of want to do the same here. Attacker so what we're -1, sorry, -1. So yeah, this is making sure we access the last one that's on the list. So actually, that might just be enough code. Let's have a look, see if that works. Right, so for us to do that, let's actually, I'm just going to work on building defense, because that'll be the easiest one to sort of play about with. Defenders, and let's get 1 attacker. Or 1 lot of attackers. Turn. Okay, so we've got a pretty sizable army here. So ideally we're going to create these guards and it should just appear underneath here, but let's see how that goes. Yes, okay. I know that didn't look, that looks slightly underwhelming, but that is quite a big deal. Now ideally these should arrive over there. That looks about right. Now I'm just putting this over here. Yeah, okay, and they're still returned to the same spot. That's good. Okay. Yeah, I tell you what, I'm actually happy. I've made some good progress today. So we have got a very, very basic game here. I'm trying to work out. So next episode, it might be introducing more cards to the deck, and also introducing just say getting them, either the monster to get destroyed or the town, so we can actually have like a sort of game over sequence or something like that. So yeah, and also I'm going to dabble with, I've got loads of things, it's brilliant. I'm going to dabble with armoured units as well. So armoured, there's going to be like a card that would, for example, make 10 of your attackers become armoured. But if you didn't have any attackers, then it'll only do the number of attackers that you've got. And same for defenders. I've got like a few ideas as to how to utilise that, because at the moment all the cards are 2 mana and you've got a whole 1 mana that you're kind of wasting each turn. So yeah, I'm going to fit in some more cards, which like hopefully the basis of like how I've done, it shouldn't be too difficult to add more cards in, but I'll look forward to that. It's been a great stream actually. It's been a lot of fun. Yeah, thanks so much for watching and everything, and we're looking forward to it. I'll probably be back Saturday, and we're going to do some more game dev, and it's gonna be awesome. Yeah. Rock and roll. Anyway, yeah, thanks again. I'll see you later. All right, bye.